We're good. Okay. Tried to run that as a unlisted thing before just to test it, see if it would work, and that's like not how that went apparently because there was people like just in there like talking and stuff, and I was like, did that wrong. So now we're just gonna fly. We're gonna roll with it, see what's happening. We already have people in here. Look at this. How about it? Everybody can hear. I trust. If somebody would have said something by now if they can't. But like the title says, we're opening figures. Can you even believe it? I got a stack of things over here that I already started opening some, and I already started messing with technology here. What do you say? Hey, boom! That's right. We already started opening a few things. But, for the rest of these, I was like, why not just invite some people? See if, I don't know, maybe they want to see what's going on. So on the table right now, we got a couple of those NECA foot enforcers from TMNT, and we got the Soul Calibur figures, the Storm collectible ones, Taki and Mitsurugi. I don't know if they're making more of those, honestly. Like, I hope they do, because those two I really like. Soul Calibur in general I really kind of like, despite not really knowing much about it. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to put on the music. Streaming for vengeance, baby. It's going to be pretty low in the mix, but hopefully it's not too distracting. Just a little ambiance, Okay, we got some people already talking. We back indeed. Oh, you already know. And, just because I botched the first time, let's not, hold it against me, I hope. It's been a long time since I did a stream of any kind, so, forgive me. Or don't. It's up to you. The Crazy Kaiju? Gyro Productions, yes. What's going on? We're already talking JWF. When is the next match? Is going to also when there will be a new... What is this sentence? World Champion is probably off the table. I got one belt. That's too many for the amount of time that JWF gets worked on. Digging the Anthrax shirt. Fun story. This is actually a pretty new shirt for me. I was at this tour, the We've Come For You All, and I bought a shirt 20 years ago at that show, and I wore it wore out, it had holes and everything all in it, and then I saw they were doing some kind of discount on their merch when they were selling it on their website, and sure enough, this was one of the shirts they had. Now, it's not a one-to-one reproduction. They're using the more old school logo compared to the streamlined one they were using at the time, but I mean, come on, Alex Ross, Anthrax, you can't be mad at this. Joseph Miga, welcome. Wonder if you got any new Godzilla vs. Kong figures. Not recently. I did some stop motion. You'll even see right there. That's Shin Godzilla. That is a new-ish figure for me. I got it a couple months ago. But I did some stop motion on my Instagram. That 2 little clips with him. He's a lot of fun. Nightmare Soul Calibur. Oh, if only. I want Lizard Man because I'm more of an old school Soul Calibur guy. But honestly, any of them, I'd be happy. Let's see. It'll be on the next episode of Botchamania. Just me starting a stream. I can't read this name because it's just a series of characters. The Super 7 Cliff figure is right here at my side. We haven't opened it yet, but it's coming. Let's see. Alex Ross, the comic artist. Yes, he did 3 Anthrax covers, I think. It was this one, We've Come For You All. And then Warship Music came after it. And then... For All Kings, I believe, is the most recent one. And I gotta tell you, they're all pretty good. This is just the one that I remember because I really... Fun story about this before we get into some figures here. This album came out in 2003, I want to say, and it was I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I really, really like this album. I could still put it on and just listen to the whole thing from beginning to end today, all these years later. And I was just kind of man, can you imagine if Anthrax is doing something this good, just imagine the next Metallica album, how good that's going to be. And that was Saint Anger. So, can't always predict the future, let's say. All right. Piggy says we got the new AEW Samoa Joe. How does it compare to the Toy Biz one? Well, we got Samoa Joe right here. I actually got 2 of these. One is going to be going to friend of the channel, Burnout Inc. And, I'm going to compare... I don't know if I can compare to the Toy Biz one, because we're calling this on the fly here. We're going to see if I still have the Toy Biz one laying around, because at one point, I actually did have it in a drawer somewhere. Oh my god in heaven. This is why you don't get rid of anything. So here's the Toy Biz Samoa Joe. And, yeah, it's probably pretty good for its time, I imagine. Like, there was a charm to these older figures, but we can do a little side-by-side if you want. We'll get it going. Let's see. Have you gotten the Destroyer figure from Super 7? Yeah, they show signs of age, definitely. But let's see. No, I didn't get Destroyer. Although every picture I'm seeing of it and every like review I'm watching of it is tempting me. I believe I have the 1200 degree Godzilla meltdown coming at some point, so that one I'm looking forward to also. I don't have Twitter. How's Burnout Inc. doing, by the way? He was doing well as of about an hour ago when we were sending some text messages. I'm gonna even tell him we might be able to get Burnout Inc. live in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I'm live on YouTube. I'm not love on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube. And people want to know how you are. Boom. Let's see if he pops in and says, yeah, I'm good. Let's see. We got, man, Kirk Holland. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. But, you know, I'm not spilling anything out, but I do have a coffee toast I can provide here. Very sorry to hear the news, man. Hopefully, you're doing all right. Riding on the Wind, favorite song from that JP album. Oh, Judas Priest, yeah. So what you're hearing here is Streaming for Vengeance. It's No Taxes Nigel Bravo on Stoke Crow Comedy. He does his own streams over on his Twitch and everything. And listen, I thought Saint Anger was going to be... You've had 20 years to hear all about how bad Saint Anger is and listen to the snare drum and all that. We didn't know, all right? Going into Saint Anger, we didn't know. All I knew, Jason Newsted's gone. They're doing weird stuff with a therapy thing. In those days, you didn't hear much about it. But what you do hear about is Metallica, baby. Cliff Burton. Let's see what's what. He's looking good. I did get a look at him in the box. Hopefully this, gives you insight as to what it is. We got some tools right here for figure unboxing. Because I'm professional, you see. Yeah, Saint Anger. Oh my god. The Mechaniacs. That is really good. Wow. I've been on YouTube 13 years or something like that doing this, and I never once came up with Mechaniac. It's ridiculous. All right. We also got a little pair of clippers here that I use for figure openings. Things like this. Clip is looking really good, though. See, Super 7 excels when they do these kind of like off-the-wall, one-off type figures, in my opinion. So I really like their King Diamond figures. We're gonna get loud for a second. I like their Papa figures from Ghost. Yeah, the early 2000s. Not a good time for Metallica. Yeah. All right, so here's Cliff, rocking his jeans, rocking his denim jacket. Some pretty good paint detail on the jacket too. There's like enough like little fading and kind of scuffing going on. Not scuffing, but like, fraying, I guess, of the denim. The early 2000s, yeah, definitely. Favorite Metallica song from Cliff. Okay. From that era. First 3 albums we're talking then. Man, it's gotta be something off of Ride the Lightning. I like Kill 'Em All. Kill 'Em All's fine. Master of Puppets is a great album, but I tend to prefer Ride the Lightning a little bit more. Although Disposable Heroes is really good. It's always one of my go-to kind of, thrashy songs. Let's see. Oh, okay. I got his leg turned the wrong way around. That's why. Call of Cthulhu, also very good. For When the Bell Tolls. That might be it, honestly. That's kind of a classic. So I might have to warm up the knee joint a little bit because it doesn't want to bend and I don't want to put too much stress on it. But yeah, it looks like Cliff. So I'm eager to set this guy up. And of course he does come with a bass. He comes with a bunch of hands. He comes with a head-banging head. There's the bass we're looking at. Yeah. Pretty good. Are they making anybody else or is it just Cliff? Thus far, I think it's just Cliff. I'm not sure how far they want to go with some of this. Ideally, I would love if they just made the rest of the band. Alright, well, this is about as posed up as we're going to get him for the time being. But, yeah, he's playing his bass. God dang. Pretty good. Yeah, he's got the head banging heads and everything too. He's got the middle finger. He's got different like fretting finger positions and everything like that. Later on, good to see you. Does he come with the Aria bass or the Rickenbacker? That's a good question. I can't tell from, I am not somebody who knows one from the other. Oh, you know what? Does it say right on the top? Looking like an Aria, I guess. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with like the differences, but if you can tell, by all means, let me know. Dyer's Eve, Harvester of Sorrow, those are post-Cliff, but and Justice for All might actually be my favorite Metallica album, so don't tell Cliff, obviously. So once we get him open, he's going to join the rest of the group there. So let's see. How's he looking? Put him over here with Taki. Hopefully he stands up. Might have to. There we go. Yeah, now he's thrashing. Looking good with the crew over there. Was it NECA that made those Metallica figures back in the day? That might have been McFarlane. I think it was McFarlane did. There was a big stage and like the 4-pack and everything. And honestly, like I remember them being pretty good looking. Like McFarlane's stuff, even as far back as that, always looked good. It just doesn't like really pose. I mean, the DC stuff he's doing now poses, but like those music figures he was doing at the time was not the main event when you were looking for like anything other than the pose they were already in out of box. I'm just popping Cliff's hands out here so we can keep everything together kind of on the table. But Orion is my favorite Cliff song. Orion's really good. The McFarlane Jason Newsted with the wacky hair. I got some wacky hair now. Like I cut probably about 5 inches off a few days ago, and I gotta tell you, I was not sure I made the right decision at first, because it's noticeable. 5 inches is a lot, is all I'm saying. Jesus Christ, this is why you come here to the stream. But I was talking about a little bit on the Tales from Apartment 9 podcast. That's right, me and Mount Man, we're podcasting over on my Patreon now. It's free, so you don't have to sign up. But if you want to go listen to it, by all means, be my guest. I wonder if they will do other figures from different bands. Well, they've already done, like I said, Papa Emeritus from Ghost. They've done a couple different versions. I got 2 versions of King Diamond up there. The first King Diamond figure actually animated on my Instagram. So that was good fun. I would like to see more King Diamond, actually. But they've also done Lemmy from Motorhead. They've done like some of the mascots, like some of the, I want to say like the guy from like one of the Slayer album covers. They've done like an actual figure of like that mascot. So, hey, the more the merrier, I say. Hey, there he is. He has been summoned. Burnout Inc., ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, they were asking for you in the chat. They're like, we don't want friggin' the captain. We want Burnout Inc. And I was like, well, I mean, I understand. I get it. The Mechaniacs have spoken. I'm using that. That's too good to just not. All credit where due. So yeah. And as, Burnout Inc., friend of the chat, knows, he's got one of these Samoa Joes I got for him too. But we're going to open this one. See how he goes. See how he looks. This is the first AEW figure I've gotten in a little while. The last one I got was that Kenny Omega. The, not Ultimate Edition, whatever, the Supreme. I want royalties for the Mechaniacs. If I can pronounce your name, I would say, but I don't know how to say that. Is he fat? We'll make a t-shirt. Mechaniacs. Alright, we're not being nice about this here. Sorry about the noise, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Yes, this was like $6. And I was like, you know what? I remember hearing the guys on the Major podcast talk about this figure being kind of like a sleeper hit. Well, he pops apart at the waist, I can tell you. That's what I get for opening him too quick. But he's an AEW figure, so he goes back together really easily. But he's a little loose at the waist, honestly, so I might have to touch him up a little. But, honestly, worth $6, definitely. He's got the little like painted on elbow pad. I would probably put an actual elbow pad on him just to be on the safe side. I say safe like there's anything unsafe about it, just to aesthetic purposes. I mean, the face sculpt is really good though. Like, I think they did a good job with it. And they got his like hairstyle that he's got rocking there for a minute. I can dig this. This is good. I don't know how much like posing you're going to be able to really get out of like the legs though, because he's got the big bulky knee pads that are probably going to get in the way a little bit. Just got Paul Heyman needing to make a good Jim Cornette. That's one of those things where like I wonder if they would like it'd be great to have him to like pair with like Vader or Yokozuna and Bulldog or like any of those guys, but I don't know, like the Figures Toy Company ones make him a lot of money because there's so many of them and he just like sells all the autograph ones and everything, and I would think that he would be kind of a lock for like a figure, but I don't know, I've been wrong before, way too often in fact. Alright, Samoa Joe. And since it was asked in the chat, here is the Toy Biz one, and yeah, the proportions, the likeness. I mean, the likeness on the Toy Biz one is still pretty good, but the proportions in the body are just like what has happened in the last like 20 years of figure development. So yeah, where this one has kind of like baboonish proportions. The AEW one looks significantly better, in my opinion. And I don't know if anybody would disagree on that. And you know what happens when we open the new figure? He goes right to the side, baby. Let's see. Stand him up in there with Cliff. Maybe he admires the bass playing. He's like, damn, son. Doing good. Let's see. Will you make a wrestling action figure collection update video? Dang. That's like, it's all just in a bin right there. I can tell you there's one figure leaving my collection. There's the Defining Moments Bret Hart. The first one they did with the flag and the jacket and everything. He's on eBay right now because the new Ultimate Edition Monday Night War one is coming out, and it basically looks like just a better version of that same figure. So, selling that. I do want to get... I'm on the fence with that Mick Foley 3-pack that Ringside has. I think they look really good. I don't need a Dude Love figure, though. Like, he was never really the guy that I liked out of the Foley personalities. And I still have the Amazon Mankind, which I really like. You saw that in the last Warzone episode, just pile driving Triple H. But the Cactus Jack looks good. Again, that's from a time in his career when I'm not like super familiar with WCW era Cactus Jack, but figure looks nice. And I know Burnout Inc. actually was telling me you can just buy them separately, like on their own. So I might just do that. We'll see. Those Storm Soul Calibur figures are looking nice. Yeah, let's get them on the screen again. I really like them. I hope they do more because I think Soul Calibur has a lot of characters with like really cool designs and different elements going with them, but I don't have all their hands and anything out, but they do come with like alternate head sculpts, and Mitsurugi comes with like a big like motion effect for his sword. So yeah, really good stuff. Samurais, Cliff Burton, Samoa Joe. Yeah, listen, we get wild here at Apartment 9. The only thing I wish Jazzwares would do is make a more accurate skin tone. Joe should have had the same as the Supreme CM Punk. It's more tan. I'm so over the super pale looking figures. Yeah, I could see that. Like, if there's one thing I'm going to give to the Toy Biz figure, it's that they painted the skin tone like more in line with what I think, probably should have been the AEW one. Swig of coffee for the working man. Started watching, about 5 years late, but I started watching The Haunted of Hill House last night. It's good stuff. Mike Flanagan, man, that guy is, he's an animal. An animal! The Fall of the House of Usher was good. I like that. I thought it was, well done. And I saw Midnight Mass when it came out, and I really enjoyed that, too. So I was like, you know what? It's about time for me to stop bullshit and go back and watch the old ones. And I'm glad I did. I was having a good time. Were there any other or any brother love figures. Yeah, there's actually one pretty recently. Like, it's a Target set, I think. He had the white suit and the red face. He, oh god, I know I've seen it within the last year, I want to say. Like, it was a pretty recent one. It was one of my favorite customs, the Dude Love. I think Chick Foley still has it. I remember that Dude Love custom. That was a good one. It's funny, because I was in a live stream with some people not too long ago, and I think it was the Wrestling Hound, like another guy who's on YouTube and stuff, Instagram. He mentioned your Gold Dust that you made, the classic one, and how you had the bone crunching Marlena to go with him. So, yeah, your customs, they get well-deserved praise. So, we got the X-Men 97 Wolverine. Supposedly, this is like one of Hasbro's best Wolverines. And, you know, I say that as a fan of a lot of their recent Wolverines. So, I'm excited about this one. Let's do it. What's everybody else been collecting? Anybody else been buying figures to the degree that I have? Because it's unhealthy, I can tell you. Got anything you're looking forward to? I just pre-ordered the... Oh, okay, there it is. I thought I lost a hand. I pre-ordered the Mythic Legions wave with the bear and everything. I was like, you know what? It's time. Let me do it. Let's see. Got the mask. So one thing I know they did differently with this figure is they made the claws like longer and slimmer. But I actually really like the way they look. Like these... Up until these, I think the X-Force Wolverine claws were probably my favorite ones that they had done. But these might take the cake on that. But I like the pinless body. Looks really good. The colors are like exactly what I think of when I think of like, you know, this era of Wolverine. Now, this is based on the animated series look. Obviously, the X-Men 97, the upcoming one. But obviously, this could just fit into your comic collection, too. This is just Tiger Stripe Wolverine. You could stick him with your 70s team or with your 90s team because he wore the same costume across both eras. I like this unmasked head sculpt, too. It's a little on the stylized side, but they did a good job with it. And obviously, his mask head sculpt is also really nice, which I think that's what we're going with here. Just Wrestling Figures, says NitoRad333. I want to get that Ultimate Brock Lesnar and RVD. I actually just got the RVD because Burnout Inc. found it, and I was looking for it, but I never found it anywhere near me. This is not... Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hasbro, you've done well. I'm a fan. But the, yeah, the RVD is really nice. I'd like to do some kind of animating with him at some point. I don't know where I'd put him. Maybe in Super Tiger against Kenny Omega or something like that could be cool. But, yeah, the Monday Night War Elites and Ultimates and stuff look cool. Like the Bret Hart one is the one, like I said, I'm really excited about. Who else is coming out? There's some new Ultimate Editions that I'm just, like, not super fan of. Like that Kurt Angle. Like, why is he on the freaking Bobby Lashley body? Like, he's enormous. Like, I don't know. I'll wait around for a better version. Like Eddie Guerrero, too, supposedly getting a newer Ultimate Edition that's, like, better proportion than the one we got. Because the one that they released is, again, he's, like, gigantic. And I know, like, people like to say, well, Eddie was really, you know, he was huge at that point in his career. And he was. But he wasn't the size of Batista, you know? He was, like, proportion... Well, smaller proportions, but, you know, he was still just every bit as muscular, you know? I don't know. How are the X-Men Marvel Legends these days? The last one I bought was Squirrel Girl. Still haven't opened it. So I'm liking this Wolverine. What was the last... Some of the last ones I got would have been probably the Jim Lee training costume. The blue and yellow X-Men. Which, if I get around to my top figures of 2023, you'll probably see them on there because I really like those. But yeah, they've been improving certain things about him. So this Wolverine is like all pinless. So that he doesn't have like any of the pins like in his arms or legs. It looks really smooth, like really clean. The paint apps on mine are, everything looks really good. So, Yeah, they are getting a little more expensive, which, I mean, is kind of across the board for pretty much all figures. And nobody wants to pay more money, but, you know, I'm also not going to stop buying them, so they got me. Rey Mysterio, Wolverine gear all in was sick. Glad I was there. There you go. Stoke Crow Comedy, ladies and gentlemen. The man whose music you are listening to right now, as long as you can hear it. It's very low on my end. But yes, Wolverine looking good. Let's put him over there. You know where he's going. He's going right here with the boys. Got Samoa Joe watching Cliff Burton play bass. And Wolverine's just swinging away. Gotta have him looking at the camera, though. What kind of nonsense is this? He's gonna fall. Oh, God. This is so embarrassing. I'm not a good stream man. Oh, jeez. Can you imagine? Aren't they around 25 now? Basically, that's like, yeah, the kind of the general going price. Certain ones get even more. The thing that upsets people is when they're on, like, the retro card like this. Because then they're like, well, they're not even giving you a Build-A-Figure piece. You're just paying more money for, you know, less plastic, basically. And there is an argument to be had there. I got Magneto, but I don't think I'm going to open Magneto because I do have a bunch of these retro cards, like, just in package because I like how they look, and I usually got them for pretty cheap. And now that I got that Mafex Magneto, I don't really have any reason to open this anymore. Like, that Mafex one is so good, so I think Magneto's staying on ice, ladies and gentlemen. Sucks to be you. Where are we going next? I know. Cliff, does it come with a Joseph Gordon-Levitt head from the film Hesher? It does not. He does come with some headbanging heads. Like, here's one where he's, like, all up in the air, looking crazy. And then another, like, thrashing, yelling. He's looking good. He's got a couple different hands, too, for, you know, different base configurations. And middle finger for, you know, photo sessions, I suppose. Aren't they around? Oh, I read that. They really are. So I might need it for $30. But you're a good Steam boy. That's what counts. Let's see. I think the last time I bought one, they were like 16, 17. Yeah, I mean, you can catch them on sale and get them, but you never tell with the distribution on these damn figures. Like, sometimes they're, like, really, like, they're all over the place. And then other times it's like, no, you might see them once and never see them again. So, like, it's up to you if you want to take the risk. Like, for me, X-Men is really all I buy from Marvel, so, like, I'm just going to buy them, and, you know, if they end up on clearance, that sucks for me, but oh well. So, here we got Ryu, Jada Toys. This is the Player 2 version, Paul Mart exclusive. And, I gotta tell you, this Street Fighter series has become, like, one of my favorite lines, basically, of 2023, and they look like they're going to continue to impress in 2024, so... yeah, I'm telling you, man. Did the stop motion with Ryu and Fei Long last year. I really like these guys. Do I collect Iron Maiden Eddies? I have seen a couple, but I don't have any. There's a NECA one, I think. There is, did McFarlane do, like, some older ones? Maybe? Couldn't tell you. I'm glad the articulation is changing with both WWE and other figures. WWE has been, like, behind with their articulation schemes. I'm glad Mattel has finally caught up. Like, the Ultimate Edition stuff is great. But, like, when the Elite line started in 2010, I'm like, these need double-jointed elbows. Like, that's... like, wrestling moves need you to be able to move. So, they finally did. They finally listened. I'm not saying they listen to me, because I'm under no such delusion that anybody on YouTube listens to me for any reason, but... alright, here we go, baby. Get Ryu out. Let's free him, shall we? Let's see. Had people complaining about the cloth singlet. Oh, yeah, for Kurt Angle. The cloth singlet would be fine if the body looked proportioned, but, like, he's just freaking huge. Like, I don't know, man. I'm hoping that they eventually do, like, a better scaled version of Kurt Angle, because I would like to have one. in my collection. But for now, like, even the elites I think are a little too big, but you know, what are you gonna do? All right, so here's Ryu, leg stuck in place here. Both legs? No, just the one. All right, so might have to heat the leg up a little bit. I listened to you. Well, thank you. This is one half of the Combustion Tag Team Champions. Oh man, listen, Combustion has been a crazy show. I have trying to think if I got any more Combustion superstars here. Like, I know I have a Doink somewhere, but like, you know, I know Doink is probably not the guy you want to see right now after he made you shave half of your face. That was, first of all, that's commitment. I love that. But yeah, the Ghidorah tournament. There's a new Goro actually coming out, Storm Collectibles one, and it looks incredible. So I'm pretty excited for that, but that's a ways off yet. But yeah, man, Ryu, looking good. These Jada figures. This is actually a different skin tone than the first Ryu had. Some people felt he was a little bit too, like, orange on the first one. Which, I mean, I guess I could see, you know, now that I'm seeing this one, it seems a little bit better. But, I don't know, man. I like these figures. And they got, Ken is hitting right now. I have him on pre-order from Big Bad. But if I see him at Target or something, I'll just buy it there and then cancel my pre-order. Yeah, man. Good stuff. Burnout Inc. How many customs that you have done in the past do you still have? I'd be curious to know that myself, because I got 2 of his customs right up there on the shelf. The Edge and Christian that he made some years ago, which I do plan on using at some point. I know I said that a long time ago when I first got them, and I do finally have an excuse to use them next time I get around to doing some wrestling stuff. Stay tuned, I guess. Let's go, baby. Where's Ryu going? I'll put him, I don't know. Can he go front and center? Sure. That's right. Got him in there in front of Mitsurugi Itaki. It's like blinding. I don't know what's going on. That webcam I have is not great for like light diffusion, I guess. That's what we're dealing with. Professional stream, baby. How you liking this Godzilla over here, by the way? That was from my Instagram, one of my stop motion clips that I did last week. So yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom. There you go, Wolverine and Ryu right there. Marvel versus Metallica, Soul Calibur, Samoa Joe. We're having fun here, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got next? Let me get the rest of these parts out for Ryu. Comes with the same angry head as the first release one, just with a blue headband. The stress was a bit too much. I only have Sting, Boogeyman, and the customs of myself. Every now and then I think about updating the custom Captain McKay, but then I'm like, he's just the announcer, who cares? But right now he's just on that Marvel Legends body, which is not bad, because all he does is sit at a desk and like announce for like Warzone or whatever, but I don't know, like, maybe if I find a better suited body or something. Problem is, like, those Lord of the Rings figures, the Legolas that I use that head for, like, I think they go for some money now, so, like, I wouldn't want to just have to spend money on, like, another expensive figure and have to update it. I think you did a great job. Shin Godzilla is disgusting. Thank you. I love Shin Godzilla. He's just such a weird freaking like nightmare of a monster. Especially like when you first see him and he's not quite Shin Godzilla yet. He's just this weird thing that's like slithering across the thing. Ah, it's great. Mountain Man actually got the -1 version of Godzilla, and that figure is awesome. Like the Monster Arts one. I would consider buying my own actually too. Like I got the Super 7 one pre-ordered, which hopefully looks as good as it does in the renders, but that's a ways off because that's how Super 7 does their pre-orders. But God, man, like after seeing the Monster Arts, I'm like, I could be convinced to spend that money. Dude, I wish I still had my Lord of the Rings figures. I don't know if it's just my memory, but they were the most detailed at that time. That Christopher Lee was spot on. I remember seeing those because at the time, when they were coming out, it was probably like, God, 2005 or 6 or something. I had a girlfriend who was like into it, and like I bought some of the figures like as gifts for her, but really because I wanted to see him. And there was like a Gollum that was like really little but superposable, and there was like obviously like the Christopher Lee one you mentioned, like his Christopher Lee is like, I can't wait till they do the Hammer Dracula. NECA's gonna do it. But the Gandalf was really good. There was like an Aragorn that I really thought was pretty good. And this is Toy Biz, you know, around the same time as this freaking Samoa Joe figure, and they're pulling out good stuff. I got the McFarlane Batmobile for Christmas. Which is that the Flash one, or are you talking about like the 60s one? The best gifts for your girlfriend or secret gifts for you. I mean, I agree. Now I just buy myself everything because I got no girlfriend. What are you talking about? I'm a wild man. I'm old, and I don't leave the apartment either, which is probably not helpful. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I ever talked about this on the channel, but me and Moutman started a little podcast. It's over on the Patreon. You can go listen to it. It's called Tales from Apartment 9. It's free, so if you want to go listen to it, you can. You don't have to sign up. By the way, we're opening the Bride of Frankenstein from our friends over at NECA. Now, this is the... nice. This is the color version. I opened the black and white one already, but I like what they do with these Universal monsters. These are just like... I don't know. If you're a fan of those movies, there's a lot to like about these figures. And I'm about to get this open. Toy Biz kind of owned the early 2000s. Wild Guys Watch Movies, yes. Toy Biz kind of owned the early 2000s in terms of figures. Great sculpts, cloth goods, articulation, and accessories. And they like pretty much streamlined it across the board too, because they were doing their Marvel Legends, which at the time, especially towards like the end of their Marvel Legends run, they got like really good. Like some of those Face-Off 2-packs. I still have the Green Hulk from that Face-Off 2-pack with the leader, and that's, in my opinion, still probably one of the best Hulk figures that maybe has ever been made. And you know what I actually really like is their they did that first appearance Wolverine versus Sabretooth. That Sabretooth is really good. Like, that is what the newer Marvel Legends one should have been, in my opinion. But I don't know, that new one didn't do much for me. There's like a 2-pack coming out now. What am I missing here? Why is this stuck? That's the one thing with NECA, is they always put so many of these damn little like twist tie things holding this figure in. I'm a sucker for anyone with a streak in their hair. Yep. I hear you. That speaks to me on a spiritual level. There we go. Something I realized when I look back is when Chase did a custom Shinsuke figure for Meltdown. Years later, Shinsuke joins WWE. What are the chances? I'm telling you, Chase predicts the future. I think Kingpin from that series still goes for a pretty penny. Does he? I didn't know. I have the one in the black suit because I wanted the unmasked Daredevil. And I do remember really liking that figure at the time. He didn't move as well as like some of the more recent ones do, but I mean, he was just a big guy in a suit, so like I didn't really need him to do a whole lot. There we go. There we go. Elsa Lanchester. Yeah, man, that's cool. I got the original Frankenstein movie version of the monster, but they did release a Bride of Frankenstein version of the monster too, Karloff, which, let's face it, I kind of need it. He predicted Undertaker versus Goldberg. Yeah, I'm trying to think. None of my dream matches ever actually like came to fruition. It's like Bret Hart and Kurt Angle never happened in real life. Rock and Shawn Michaels never happened in real life. Taker and Sting, we never got. Like, I mean, they've wrestled, but like it was never Undertaker and Sting as we know them. But yeah, so unfortunately, me predicting the future, not as good as Chase. I like the Bride. She's looking pretty cool. And like I said, I have the black and white one already opened and everything, so, you know, this is just a nice little addition here. That Goldberg Taker match was rough to watch. Mine and WWE's. I have to go back and watch some BPW. I remember was it the Hearts versus the Click? I can't remember specifically. I know it was the Click was involved in like a big multi-man tag match, and I remember being very entertained by that one. Apparently, Brett versus Angle was close to actually happening. Really? Do tell, because I know Kurt Angle wrestled Owen Hart like when he was like before he like was on TV in WWE, but when he was doing like trial matches and stuff like that. Like I've seen pictures of the two of them in the ring together, and I would love to see a video of that because I think that would be. I mean, Owen Hart was awesome, as many of us know, and Kurt Angle, even when he first started, was like great to watch. So you know where we're going here. We're going back to the streets. Let's put the bride somewhere. She can be, again, admiring. Oh no! Everybody's fucking falling. Jeez. Get the sensor out, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Let's try this again. Put Samoa Joe over here. Now, see, this is just, once again, I'm not good at streaming. Hashtag amateur YouTube, man. Alright, let's have a little more respect for ourselves here. There we go. Samoa Joe and Wolverine just gotta... Alright, you know what? Samoa Joe's gonna have to take the stand off to the side. Well, I like CM Punk versus Punisher Rey Mysterio. BPW. Classic. Mosh Pit. Yeah, there you go. The Click versus the Yes Foundation. That's what it was. Go out with a bang. It was the Von Erich Wrestling WCCW. That's before my time. I mean, I understand the movie is pretty good, though. So maybe I'll go see that or watch it when it hits streaming or something. By all accounts, though, it's pretty good. That's right. Getting the bride's extra heads and everything out. Just making noise. This is, you know, real professional. There's the screaming head, the bride. They do a really good job with the actor likenesses. Angle asked Brett to do a match at Mania 18, and Brett said no. Would Brett have been... Like, he would have been done by then, I think, right? Like, he would have been injured. I think I remember... Now that you mentioned that, I think I remember hearing one of them talk about it, and he's like, I just can't wrestle anymore. Screaming head, sure. Okay, well, listen. We all love our controversy here on the channel. But we'll save that kind of carry-on for the Tales from Apartment 9 podcast. My favorite wrestling figure so far that I have. I don't know, because it changes all the time. The Ultimate Edition, the new Bret Hart is really good. The new Rock is really good. I don't know, man. Like, too many to list, honestly. There we're going. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Once again, I have the black and white one already opened, but we gotta go full color, you know? You expect to see a certain level of professionalism when you come to this channel, and I don't know why you expect it, because you already just watched me knock everything down, but I'm glad you're here anyway. What's somebody else's favorite figures? Nigel likes his Lord of the Rings figures. We talked Toy Biz, early 2000s, good stuff. Let's see how many of these little twist tie things. There's no less than 7 of these things on this creature. Could be a bit overkill, but, you know, he's not leaving his package without a fight, I can tell you. But yeah, like I said, started watching that Haunting of Hill House finally. Looking forward to going back, finishing it either tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure. Did I like The Shape of Water? I don't think I saw that one. Is that a... Who did that? That's not Shyamalan, is it? It rings a bell. Like, I know everyone was talking about it for a while. My thing is this, like, there's all those movies that, like, come and go that I just don't see, and everybody, like, insists that they're, like, great, and I'm like, they probably are. I just didn't watch it. Zombie is late to the party. Ah, you're right on time. I still got that Kurt Russell Snake Plissken figure that a very nice lady got me on a date once. I know, I don't know if you listened to Tales from Apartment 9 in its entirety or if you got started or what, but Mountain Man talks about how much he misses R&B A Dating Show. And, you know, it's a good show. That's really all I can say. So here's the creature. Looking every bit as impressive as I think he should. Yeah, man. The sculpt detail on this one is really nice. I know Jada did a Universal Monsters line where they had their own creature that everybody seemed to also really like. And I'm just happy the monsters are getting some modern action figure love, because the last time I can think of that Universal Monsters had like a real in-depth line was like when Sideshow was doing them, like probably like 2000, 2001. My dad had a bunch of them, and they went deep. Like, you could buy like Glenn Strange Frankenstein monster and Lon Chaney Frankenstein monster and Bela Lugosi Frankenstein monster. Like, just every actor who's ever played any of these characters, Sideshow had a little figure for you. Del Toro, there we go. Okay. Shape of Water is great. Haven't seen it in a couple of years. The -1 and Baby Dominic figures rule. Oh, like the small children wrestling figures? Shape of Water is very related to the creature from the Black Lagoon, just with more banging. Oh, well. Get on my list. How do the Jada figures compare to the other Street Fighter figures? They're about the same size as the Figuarts ones, and like the older Soto ones, if you remember that series. The Storm ones are huge, so like if you wanted to like mess with the scale a little bit, like if you had like a Storm Collectibles Zangief, who was already huge compared to like the Storm Collectibles Ryu, if you put him next to the Jada one, he's like dwarfing him entirely. I don't have a... Well, I mean, let's go to the cam. So, Ryu, obviously, Jada Toys. I would say Taki is about the size of the Storm Collectibles Chun-Li. And, you know, obviously they're two totally different scales. But if you were to put, like, one of the larger characters with him, you could probably make it work. Like, if you're one of these people that likes, you know, Zangief or Sagat or whoever to be just, like, massive compared to the other person he's fighting, by all means. So yeah, get the creature, get him looking posed up a little bit. It looks like he's doing like the diamond cutter pose. Let's see, get him to feel the bang. Who doesn't love Zanger? Yeah, another 616 GM Showdown favorite, the Street Fighters. There we go. All right, not too bad. I think I got more stuff here, but it's all the gargoyles, and I'm like, I like the gargoyles a lot, but they take up so much space. Like, if you can see up on the top there, that's Goliath, that's Demona, that's Hudson, and Bronx, and their wings are just like disrespectful how big those figures are. Wolverine just went down. Oh god. Self high five. Do I collect G.I. Joe Classified? No, I was never a G.I. Joe guy. Like, I hear everybody say the figures are really nice, and they seem good, but I just, it just was never one of those franchises that I got into. That and, like, Transformers. I never got into Transformers either, besides Beast Wars, which is controversial, apparently, because there's, like, a lot of people who love, like, the original Transformers think Beast Wars is stupid and whatever, so, like, I don't know, man. I just was not of that era, I suppose. But you know what we got to do here. That's right. Going right over here. Let's see if we can't straighten this nonsense out. Put the creature over here. Let's get Wolverine back up. Maybe we can, I don't know, make him look at least a little bit more responsible here, so he's not trying to spread his stance out all over the place. There. I mean, it's a little better. He looks unnatural, but as long as he's balancing, and even that. This is the table I try and animate on, by the way. So if I can't even stand a figure on it, the struggles of actually... Oh, you fuck... Ah, god damn it. The struggles of animating on an uneven table, let me tell you, not great. Alright, let's try this again. Now Taki's feet are all messed up. This is an exciting way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Thank you for joining me here as I open figures and knock everything over and just... Gotta tell you. Smojo, can he stand over here with these guys? Alright, I think we got him. Nice. Alright, everything is under control. We're back. Beast Wars is better than Transformers. Fight me. Do I have any Dark Universe figures? I don't know if any of them ever got made. That was your Tom Cruise mummy. Which, alright, wasn't that bad. Like, I'm not going to tell you it's great, because it's not. But it's... Like, first of all, I don't know why Tom Cruise was in it. Because that part was obviously written for somebody, like, much younger. Like, the woman that he's interested in is, like, in her 20s, and Tom Cruise is, like, sub 50. And, like, he's acting, like, basically like Brendan Fraser in the old, the 99 Mummy, I think it was. But, yeah, then he becomes a mummy, you know, spoilers. But, spoilers for a universe we're never going to get, so whatever. But, like... I think they just tried to throw too much in there because, like, anytime anybody starts a cinematic universe now, they're like, we're going to put in as much as we can to this first one so that everybody knows it's a universe. But, like, Marvel didn't do that, and that's why it worked. So, like, Iron Man 1, the only other character reference you got to, like, anything outside of, like, Iron Man himself was, like, they mentioned S.H.I.E.L.D. And then at the end, you got Nick Fury, but, like... That's still S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not like they're like, oh, by the way, and there's a Hulk somewhere and there's another guy doing some stuff. Like, too much, man. Just pace yourself. Make a good movie and then give me the rest of your universe. Let's see. I really wanted those gargoyles as well, but yeah, they're too big and I have no space already. Oh yeah, like that's like in these giant boxes that they're in is the only way that I can store them responsibly. Because like the box is even big. And then you get the wings on them. But, I mean, they look so good. Like, come on. It's one of those things where I gotta, like, build up a better display or something. Figure something out. Beast Wars is better than Transformers. Yeah, I agree. I have great memories of Beast Wars, but I tried rewatching some with my little nephew, and it's a mess. Yeah, that 98 CG or whatever it was very of its time, I guess. It's like going back to like some of those. I could go back to the conversation I had with Ian about Mortal Kombat, the 95 movie, because it was like right at that transitional period between like practical effects and like CGI. And so like the practical effects was like top of the line and the CGI was in its infancy. So like that's why Goro looks like good and Reptile does not, because Reptile is a mess and a CGI just disaster. But yeah, the that era of like those cartoons and everything, this is rough, man. This is not a lot going on. Knowing is half the battle. Go Joe. Oh yeah, Joseph Miga, you missed a Tom Cruise mummy movie, and let me tell you, that's yeah, it's a movie. I mean, you're never gonna get a sequel, I don't think, or any kind of like restore the Dark Universe. Somebody start that on Twitter, see how you go. But what did I hear? I think I heard like Angelina Jolie was supposed to be in it as like the Bride of Frankenstein. I think The Rock was supposed to be in it as something. I don't know. Like, I don't know if people want more of these universes. Like, Marvel did its thing for 10 years, and I think people are basically tired of it at this point. Like, I still like some of it, but I'm not rushing to these movies anymore, you know? DC tried and failed because they tried to shotgun it, and they tried to cram too much in too quick, and they just ended up with these aimless freaking movies from all these people that just don't know how to interconnect things. And now James Gunn is trying to do it again. We'll see. Hopefully it's better. I don't know. But yeah, the Monsterverse, relatively coherent, I think. But also, it's out of control. Like, Godzilla 2014 is like relatively grounded in realism, as much as you can expect it to be. And then Godzilla vs. Kong, you got like flying spaceships and a Hollow Earth and all this stuff, and it's like this escalated pretty quickly. I mean, I like it all, I really do, but there's just a lot of suspension of disbelief. I don't know who wants these movie universes. Let's see. Favorite Anthrax album? Is it this one? We've Come For You All. If it's not We've Come For You All, then it is Persistence of Time. Both of those I really like, and it's ironic that Persistence of Time was the last one they recorded with Joey Belladonna, and I mean up until recent stuff. And then this We've Come For You All was the last one they recorded with John Bush. So it's like as they were at their strongest with each era, I guess, was when they were like on the outs with their singer. So, hey, I don't know. But yeah, both of these albums really good. You could put either of them on and just have a great time. I'm priced out of Gargoyles. I got Goliath and Bronx, and that was just it. Or that was it for the Goliath Folded Wings. Yeah, having to buy the other ones to get the Folded Wings, I'm like, I get it, but like, what are you doing? And I think ultimately you'd probably just be able to like get an Ultimate Edition or something down the line that has it, because I think there's a 2-pack now with Goliath and Demona, and they both have the wings draped and the spread out wings. And there's like different accessories and stuff too. Kurt and Wyatt were great in Monarch. I agree. I'm an Among the Living type of guy. Among the Living is great. Like, that's, I think, the go-to with like every song is like one of their like staple hits. Like, I Am the Law is so good. Caught in a Mosh, somebody referenced it before when, you know, all these figures I just opened fell on each other. But, yeah, man. I actually got a graphic novel of Among the Living, and it was like one of those things where like every song has its own little story in the comic, and like different artists, different, you know, people behind it. I gotta finish reading it because like I read about half of it. It was good. Did the album end? No, we gotta play Streaming for Vengeance again while we ease out of this stream here. But yes, Kurt and Wyatt were great in Monarch. There's another thing we were just talking about, Burnout Inc., like how good Wyatt Russell is in pretty much everything I've seen him in. Like, even if the show isn't good, like Falcon and Winter Soldier was not my favorite Marvel thing, but he was good in it. And, like, his episode of Black Mirror, again, not one of the strongest episodes, in my opinion, but just, he's good. And, like, especially when you pair him up with Kurt Russell in the Monarch show, like they're playing the same character. Like, come on, how good is that? So I won't be in chat, but I'll be listening, doing housework, enjoying the stream. Thank you. Well, hey man, like glad you're here. I might have to go soon for dinner. It's fine. I mean, like I'm just gonna be probably closing out here in a short while. But I had all these figures, like I said. I was like, get myself on YouTube, show my face a little bit, because the last Between the Frames I put up was last week sometime, I think, and it's a long episode, so if people are intimidated by that, I get it. I got some animation, and I put up a short from that episode yesterday, I think it was, just an animation of Godzilla and Biollante fighting. It was on my Instagram a while ago, and I just put it on YouTube, and that one's views are already like well above and beyond what the full Between the Frames episode is. So, hey, you know, it's YouTube. I don't understand how YouTube works. I just come here because I like it. Like I said, on Instagram, 2 little clips of Shin Godzilla went up in the past couple of days. So, yeah, that's fun. I had, last week, I was on vacation, and I don't go back to work until Wednesday of this coming week. So, you know, I'm not going to want to go back. I don't like going there and doing any of that. But as I get to sit here and like be home, I have been doing some more animating, so excited about that. Can't remember if I talked about that at all on Patreon or not, but you know, some good stuff coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned. I'm trying to think what else I got before I can close out and we can call it a day here on this lovely stream. YouTube is broken. Oh yeah, dude. Well, I mean, YouTube is very different, and I've said this before, I think, but like, all right, swig of coffee for this, because this could get long-winded. And I'll explain this while I'm taking all the Creature from the Black Lagoon heads and hands and stuff out of the package. So YouTube as it existed some years ago when I started doing this kind of thing, it was, insofar as what I'm doing, like animation and all that kind of stuff, it was a lot more popular for that kind of thing. You know, like animations that I put up would, you know, like a Warzone episode, for example, would get like a couple thousand views in its first week, and that was good for me. You know, those like numbers I like seeing. These days, YouTube has become more catered to stuff like this, you know, like live streams, but it's also a lot more reactionary than it was. So like if I want a video to do well, for example, I have to title it like, is this the worst thing, you know, that anybody's ever released or whatever, and do a thumbnail of me making like a crying face looking at it, and probably have, you know, some, you know, fire or something and dollar signs on it. I don't know, I don't get it. But you either have to be very reactionary like that and very negative biased towards whatever it is you're talking about to get attention, because everybody loves to be miserable on YouTube now, or you have to do like these long form video essays, which admittedly I like a lot of, but you have to be likable enough to do things like that. So your personality matters, you know, you have to put yourself out there and do stuff like this. So for example, I look over at 616 Entertainment at what Ian is doing, and he is a charismatic enough guy to be able to do that and be a good presenter. You know what I mean? Like, if there was somebody else just reciting what he was saying, but they didn't bring the same energy, or they just had a worse personality or something, I don't know that I would be as interested in the videos, just because it's down to the presentation as much as it is the presenter, you know? That's why a channel like his works, because he does stuff like that, and it's always good quality stuff. So for algorithmic reasons, the fact that I'm not doing these long form video essays, and the fact that I'm not doing this hit piece kind of style of content creation where I'm just saying, hey, everything sucks, I, you know, don't like this figure, I don't like this company, Hasbro's bad, McFarlane bad, whatever. I don't know, man. Like, YouTube has just evolved. And I'm still here because I like it. I've got a decent audience of people like yourself who in here watching, just having fun, hanging out. But like, don't expect me to just turn around and start being that guy on YouTube with the angry reacts and all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing that shit. Let's see. Yeah, most of the video essays are garbage, monotone voices. The AI voices are even worse. Yeah, that's like how that ever carried over from like TikTok to YouTube. Like, I don't get it. And then I look at the view count and I'm like, people are watching this, or accidentally like leaving their thing on to like, you know, next video plays in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then they're watching like, you know, at least a second of it, but that gets a view. That's engagement. I don't know, man. Can't do it. What I can do though, talk about Tales from Apartment 9 podcast. This podcast. It's on Patreon. It's good fun. Me and Mountain Man talk about movies. Wild guys watching movies. The last episode went up a couple days ago, and it's got some video game talk of 2023. It's got just, it's a good time. If you want something to listen to while you're doing dishes or driving somewhere or whatever the case, by all means, give it a shot. I got to find a better place to put it, like in terms of not just uploading it straight to the Patreon, because I have no idea how to track how many people are listening to it, or if it's, you know, being well received or seen by anybody. I have no idea. We just do it. Again, I do all this stuff because I like it. Let's see. Seems like it's going to be wrapping up here. Thank you for the entertainment, sir. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for stopping in. Again, you know, hopefully you're doing well. And, yeah, I will be closing out here shortly because I just got a stack of action figure packaging all over the floor that I got to clean up. But, with that all said, let's get one last look at what we've done here today. There you go. Can't see the Soul Calibur figures really anymore because I had to set up Ryu and Wolverine in front of them. But you got some monsters, you got Cliff Burton, got your Smo Joe, Ryu, Wolverine. Good stuff here. Now I gotta figure out where I'm putting them all. Want to thank everybody for stopping in. I gotta listen to the new Apartment 9 episode. I'm very happy you guys kept going. Plus the theme song rules. Thank you. That was touch and go there with that theme song. Freaking Mountain Man doesn't know what he's talking about, is all I'm saying. But thank you for stopping in. Really appreciate everybody who just listened to this. And, hopefully maybe do this again soon sometime. Because it's fun. I remember I used to do this more regularly and I liked it. All right.